Hi everyone, I am Sabir Abdurrahman with you and from Webster University. My group name is 1U. So today we'll be talking about a lot of things if God wills. So I've done a lot of resource about the country and now we're going to know about which country it is in the next slide. So today we'll be talking about the Madagascar, its lifestyle and language, the cities and how it became the independent country and who is the president of Madagascar today. So the first thing is first that Madagascar is least developed country. Is considered to be the least developing country, and the capital city of Madagascar is Antananarivo. It's kind of like complicated to pronounce. So, in the language that they use is Malagasy in the French languages, and they became independent country with the under a French community in the October 14 in the year 1958. So after that, the Madagascar really made an effort to be independent itself. Then in 90s, on March 26th, they announced that they are independent country. And France agreed to that the Madagascar becoming fully independent. So now they are controlling the country with the constitutions and with everything else, with its president, with its rules and all the governmental rules and systems and structures. And then now today's president is, as we see from the picture, that Andre Rajoelina, and in the other pictures we can see that the flag of Madagascar in the how it looks like in the map. Let's go forward to the next slide. So in the next slide, we'll be talking about the geography, animal, and plant life, which is like fauna and flora. And other than that, we'll be talking about environmental problems that Madagascar is currently having. So, geography, Madagascar is really famous with its unique wildlife, and it's considered to be the largest island in the world. And if we take a look the Madagascar from the map, like from the geography, so 300 miles coast of the southern Africa, across Mozambique Channel, and lies the island of Madagascar. Here we can find where the Madagascar is. So geography Madagascar is really incredible because Madagascar has very unique wildlife. And what about animal and plant life? So as we see from the pictures that the lemurs is really popular in the Madagascar island, as we recall that from the cartoon of Madagascar, the king lemur, we know it, right? So lemurs, and also in the next picture we can see that the baobab trees, which last over 1,000 years, which can last over 1,000 years. So it's really old trees and old tree, and lemurs also really represent the country's like uniqueness and kind of specificness. So, and what about environmental problems? So, as Madagascar considered to be the island, so has, uh, you know, it has some of the problems that they are facing right now, coming across right now, which is deforestation, which are the deforestation and habitat destruction. So the living people, living society, and living all the species are being destructed. You know, and also they have agricultural issues and agriculture really fires and the erosion and exaggeration of hunting. There are a lot of people who hunt in the Madagascar. They hunt lemurs and other stuffs and also species, so it's really affecting the uniqueness. It's really affecting the wildlife of the Madagascar. So, and let's move to the next slide. So in the next slides, we'll talk about the history of political instability. So if you take a look, the history of Madagascar, it was really hard way too hard for Madagascar's public. So we'll be counting some of the reasons, some of the let's say things that made Madagascar to decrease to decrease its uniqueness, to decrease its let's say his reputation and score. Uh, so we'll be counting some of the reasons why that Madagascar is not really developing. So decades of strife involving military coups. They had a lot of like military coups that really forced Madagascar's nation to do a lot of jobs, in corrupt dictators and political violence have tarnished the former French colony. So the political crisis, they are like having a really big crisis in the sphere of politics. So the politics really trying to prevent resource and aid reaching common people. So they don't have the great political systems and structures that can really prevent and they can really help the country to flourish. And their resources and their ads is are not coming and reaching to the common people, to the nation of the Madagascar. And the corruptions are really hot. It's really corruptions are first place, first reason that why Madagascar is not developing. So corruptioners take away, or in other words, we can say they redirect the money that they invest to the country in their own pockets. So therefore, Madagascar is not developing. This is another reason. So even if Madagascar's government um, get well from the politics, from the corruption, so we can see from the pictures that Madagascar's nation how they live and how they used to live when in the under a French colony. So next picture. So now we're talking about the corruptions more widely and how that why Madagascar is decreasing its in terms of economy and other spheres and some of the infrastructure and big transportation links as well. So as we were talking about corruption, corruption is really hot. Corruption is everywhere. We know it, but the most developed corruption is here. We can say. So even if Madagascar's government uh, like gets well, so there's one thing that makes too hard to make business there. So no one could dare to make a business because they have done a lot of resources like scientists have done a lot of resources that the Madagascar is the worst place to make a business. So billionaires also cannot invest in their money to the Madagascar's community, the country. So if you talk about infrastructure and big transportation links, so they don't have the really good roads that people can travel, that people can make businesses there. So if the words gets well, if the roads, I mean roads and all the stuffs that are related to the transportation, so that would be really hard for farmers, for the poor people, because they just make their own businesses in the farmer sphere, so in the farmer field. So on the other hand, if the roads are not good, so that would be really hard for the people who go to the markets and who go to the uh, maybe try to make a business or other stuffs. So in if the roads are not good, they will be really hard for the public, for the huge community of the Madagascar's nation. If the roads are really good, they will be really hard for the farmers of the Madagascar's public to sell their products or to procure some of the inputs that are needed for the farming for the farming for the agriculture. So next, uh, so there's the really hot debated question. Also, the past in this slide, we're going to analyze the possible answer for the question of why Madagascar is considered to be the poor country. As we have talked about a lot of things and factors that have caused a lot of causes of poverty in Madagascar. These are the things that really made hard and made way too complicated and also worsen. They are the corrupt dictators. There a lot of corruption is going there and political violence and no good condition for the business. So like public itself and other people from the other countries, they cannot invest their money into the Madagascar community, and they don't have the no good climate. So why Madagascar is just only popular with its lemurs and some bao trees, and that's it. And if we talk about transportation and logistical problems, they have a lot of transportation leakages. I mean, weak. They are really weak in terms of transportation as well as logistical problems. So, and the one of the reasons that made Madagascar is really poor. These are that was the Madagascar was in the under a French colony. So in the French community, it was. So therefore, they lived in the really hard, in the really hard lifestyle they came across, and it was really hard for the Malagasy, I mean Madagascar community. So, but as we see that Madagascar is the first largest island in the world and the fifth poorest country across the world. So Madagascar is the least developed country. In the next slide, so I really try to give my own opinions and my own recommendations to the Madagascar community how they can again flourish their country. So unless the government officials work hard and come up with new structures and systems under these problems that I mentioned above, uh, that's way too hard to be a developed country. Not only developed, but also the Madagascar cannot be a developing country as well if those kind of structures, new ideas, new systems are not gonna add, it to the country. And in my own opinion, my own point of my view, I can say that the country has to work cooperatively with other countries, assigning business relations, imports, and exports and exports by knowing the countries the best size they can be import, others can be made a profit. So at first, the Madagascar community should come up with some of the best sides of the country and try to sell that kind of best things to the whole world. For example, if the Madagascar is a great place for touristic uh, like places, if the Madagascar is a touristic place, so invite people, just create comfort, just create really opportunities for the people. They can come to the Madagascar and travel and see the lemurs and see that Madagascar's unique wildlife. So try to come up with new structures. I'm saying this to the Madagascar community, even if they're not listening to me. But I hope that they will understand one day. They will try to come up with new structures, new systems, and all the other stuffs that make the country really, really popular and really profitable in the long run in the future. So that's it. So in the seventh slide, I'm just talking about my own views and my own opinions that why Madagascar, what Madagascar actually should do to improve its country. So I hope you will have some questions. Any questions in the questions? If you have some questions, actually, I will be, really, I will respond them with my pleasure. So that's it. I think I had 7 slides, and that's it for today. Then I'm gonna post it in the YouTube my channel. That's it. In the live Zoom. Actually, I will participate, and it's gonna be like live the presentation. So that's it. Uh, that's all the necessary and essentials that you need to know about Madagascar. I know it's really less, but I mentioned here really important stuffs that are supposed to be learned and analyzed. So thank you guys. Bye bye.